What's up with y'all, man? It's a little late right now, but I've been struggling with some things mentally, physically, but I'm staying on 10. It don't matter, what I go through. You know what I'm saying? I'll continue to try no matter what. And the reason why I say that is because, we fall short of God's glory every day. And, it's a lot, man. Like, I personally sometimes, I feel like I'm most comfortable, talking about things that I be facing and, me falling into sin and stuff. And, I'm not perfect, none of us are perfect. And my whole point of this video was to, continue to spread the word. And, through even the most toughest times, obviously, you could tell like my mood apart from other videos, and that's really what life is. It's ups and downs. And what basically I'm trying to really say is that not every video I'm gonna be up and not every video I'm gonna be down, but that just goes to show you that it's life. You really just gotta stick with God, not stick with life. But obviously he gave us this gift of life, so we gotta appreciate the good and the bad that comes with it. But the verse that I want to talk about it's in Proverbs. Let me see. It's Proverbs 3, verse 10. Yeah, it's Proverbs 3, verse 10, where it says, "Listen, my son, accept what I say, and the years of your life will be many." And sometimes, like with me, I have a hard time understanding things. If I'm being real, I'm being honest, bro. But it says, "Listen, my son, accept what I say, and the years of your life will be many." And I ain't gonna lie, the reason why I wanted to speak about this in specific is because that's like, it's like God saying, "Listen, my son, accept what I say, and the years of your life will be many." So like most of the verses that I see, I don't act like it's God because I know it is God. This is what he left us, That's exactly what he left us. This is like the notebook you study on for like an open note quiz or something. This is basically a blueprint to life. And most people look at it, oh, it's just a Bible. It's just a book. It has words. No. But the thing is, words are also strong too. You feel me? But if words are already strong, when people say them, then think of how strong God's words are. You feel me? I'm trying to put that through my head. Sometimes, not all the time, but I do struggle with some things. You feel me? But it be like that, man. We all normal. We human. We're all sinners. But in God's eyes, he sees way more than just sinners. He sees just perfectionists in us. He sees Jesus in us. You feel me? And I didn't really understand or know that. I still kind of have a hard time understanding things. You feel me? But it's just the way I grew up was very different. I'm glad that I grew up that way, but it like, I don't know. I was shown a lot of love, I felt like I was. See, I'm not most certain, but like, I was shown love, growing up as a kid. And it's crazy how it went from that. It went from, what was it? Me talking about, this verse in the Bible and stuff to going about my life. It's because that's just what kind of person that I am. I get comfortable kind of really fast. But when I feel that I'm uncomfortable, I kind of just switch topics. I don't know. Like now, you saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. I just switch topics immediately, but it just does that. Like my ADHD be tripping. But, man, it's just, I'm a really calm, cool, and collected person. Like, not when I want to be, but most of the times. But I get aggravated fast, and I've been trying to work on that, But I try and think of this as, you know what I'm saying, basically, I apologize, God. Dang, all of a sudden I just want to yawn for mad long. But I think of this as basically like, which is true, but it's also how I think about it. God is in control of everything. And it's basically, let's say you're in a video game or something, you're in a simulation, and your creator is telling you, listen, like basically, listen to me, basically. That's just, it's like a parent just telling you, no, listen to me. That's it. Like, listen. But except it's not a parent. This is the creator. You know what I'm saying? This is our creator, our heavenly father. He created everything around us, everything, like everything within us, everything, you know what I'm saying? He created so much. And he's basically just telling us to listen to him. You know what I'm saying? Accept what I say. And the years of your life will be many. He's basically telling you right there, just follow, you know what I'm saying? Follow what I tell you to do. Not like, the thing is, he's not doing this just for, you know, his will. But at the same time, he's doing this because he cares, you know? And most of the time, I try and sit there and just think like, out of all people, you chose me, God, you know? And at the same time, I don't mean to say that in a bad way, but sometimes I go through things in my life where I'm like, why did you choose me? But like, I kind of stopped saying that, and I turned it into like just anger. Like, I wouldn't question why he chose me. I understand that, you know, this is all growth, but like, it's hard for me to like, you know, accept it as growth in the moment, and then I accept it after, if that makes sense. Like, it's, I have a lot of trouble with, I have so much trouble with a lot of things, but I struggle to tell my problems how big my God is. You feel me? I struggle with that. So it's like, I just gotta keep continuing to get right with God. We all have to, you know. I apologize. It's not just for our sake, you know. Well, I'm not saying not for our sake. It's not really, if we're being honest, it's not for God's sake, you know, that we're doing this thing. It's really just for our sake and his will. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's very important that we just acknowledge things. We acknowledge a lot of things. I don't know why I say acknowledge. Like, I can't just say acknowledge. Acknowledge things. I don't know. Anyways, like, this is, man, this is hectic, but it's just, life's been difficult. But the thing is, I still struggle to tell, you know, how big my God is instead of my problems, you know. I complain, oh yeah, I have so much issues and stuff. But I want to start trying to turn it into, you know, I got my God with me. Like, this ain't nothing, you know. And it's hard, man. It really is. And it's just really just about being obedient. And it's hard, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not saying that like, oh, you know, God wants you to like do this, and like, you know, if it doesn't happen perfectly how he wants it, I'm not saying he's gonna do this and that. I'm not speaking in God's position or of his position, because, you know, I'm myself. I'm human, you know, I'm not God or anything. And the thing is, he does have mercy. He is merciful. He really is merciful. And if you want proof that he is, well, look at you breathing now. You know, look at me. He's allowing me to make this video. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I always struggle with showing gratitude. Because it's like, I always been stuck in just this, like, I don't know. I always been stuck in this, like, kind of sad state, you know. But I feel like it's for the better. And I know it's for the better. I feel that it's for the better. So I've been trying. You feel me? But I might pull up one more verse, only because I like expressing how I feel. And, like, I be trying to help y'all, too. Like, and it don't matter. Like, I don't have to post about my attacks all the time, my, you know, demonic attacks and stuff like that. But I choose to. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people would be uncomfortable. Like, and most of the attacks are like sexual attacks. So it's like, basically, it's like I don't even want to do those things, and it's like I'm being forced to. which is like it was so weird. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? It's fascinating to like even try and just put your mind on who God really is. And like it just leaves you thinking for a long time. Well, for me, I feel like it leaves me thinking. But not gonna lie, I was shedding some tears, man, because I've been struggling. You feel me? I've been falling, but obviously he's not done with me yet. You know, I'm still here. And I ain't gonna lie, I deal with like a lot of depression. A lot. Like it doesn't matter what I'm doing. Doesn't matter. But I try and speak, you know. I try and work with scripture, you know. It's like it do work, but like at the same time it just sometimes I feel like I want it to work immediately, but it doesn't work immediately, but that's fine because I know God doesn't work on our timing, you know. So that's why I try to something I try to put in my head. But man, it's a lot. But I don't want to just choose any verse to go off of. I want to, you know, choose a verse that really means something to me. That way I hopefully it means something to y'all, you know. But and when I said that, I kind of locked eyes to this one on Proverbs 3 verse 2 where it says, "I give you sound learning, so do not forsake my teaching. For I too was a son to my father, still tender and cherished by my mother. Then he taught me, and he said to me, take hold of my words with all your heart. Keep my commands and you will live." I wasn't going to go down the whole verse, but it just, I don't know. I locked eyes with it first, so I was like, you know, I'm going to just say this one. You feel me? But it was, yeah. I give you sound learning, so do not forsake my teaching. So basically, it's like he's giving us this learning. This is just, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm not saying it's easy, but like if you don't really understand, then that's when like, you know, I try to ask God and be like, God, what do you mean by this? And like, he'll show me. And I'm not saying he always shows me, or I feel like he does show me, but I just haven't been focused enough on him to, you know, clearly get that understanding. So that's on my part. So I don't want to be like, oh, he doesn't show me all the time. The thing is, God could be showing you things even just by you clicking on this video. Like that. That's just how it is. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's fascinating to really like, you got to be really like, I'm not going to say devoted to God, but like you really got to spend time with him to like really like to really hear his voice clearly. I'm not saying literally his voice, but like to understand what he wants you to do. And I've been in that position before where I didn't even play the game. I didn't do nothing. Like, obviously, I don't want to dwell on the past, but before I was so like moved for God. Like, I was so about God. Like, I'm not saying I'm not, but like the fire died down only because, you know, I be doing music and stuff. And like, obviously, I'll be playing the game. But like, I feel like what mostly it is, it's like, I get distracted very easily. And like, I just, I don't, it's just, it's always been hard for me to focus on things. So that's why I struggle. And like, I feel like that's where my depression kicks in because when I struggle, like a lot, I feel like I start feeling like there's like, I'm not going to say I'm schizo or anything, but I start feeling depressed and I'm like, you know, there's these, I'm not going to say voices, but in my head, there's a little bit of doubt where it's like, oh, you know, God probably doesn't care too much about you, or, but I know that's not of God because you know, I'm here for a reason. And sometimes I get depressed to where like, you know, my depression questions my existence, and then to where like in my head, I'm just sad, but I'm not going to say anything in my head. Like I speak in my mind too, and like I be depressed. And sometimes I be depressed for no reason. I feel like most of it is because I know I'm chosen, but I have to like suffer, you know? And that's what I just been feeling. But lately, I haven't been suffering too much. So if you haven't been suffering as much, I'm not saying it's a bad or a good thing, but you know, it does. Okay, wow, that was crazy. I apologize for that. It's because my PC screen it shuts off like that. But I'm not gonna edit none of this out. This is straight going out. I don't edit none of my videos. No cutting nothing out. Especially when it comes to like God stuff and like God talk and stuff like that. I don't cut nothing out. It's straight the whole video. I don't even like sometimes when I watch videos, I don't even walk through the whole video. I ain't gonna lie. But hey, somebody probably go and watch my video like that to the whole thing. But like it's basically saying like I give you sound learning, so do not forsake my teaching, which is like, you know, the Bible. So don't, you know, forsake it. And for I was too a son to my father. Basically, you know what I'm saying, he was a son too to his father. Still tender and cherished by my mother. Basically, was shown love by his mom also. And yeah, and he was taught and said, take hold of my words with all your heart. Keep my commands and you will live. It's basically God telling you, you know, take hold of my words with all your heart. Basically, if we just put our, not if, but when we put our trust into him, like, you know, he's a merciful and loving God. And I know it's difficult to feel that. Like, for me, it's very difficult to feel those kind of things, man. But that's when faith kicks in. And it's been, I ain't gonna lie, it's been hard. Like, even though I read my words and stuff, I still get dumb depressed, like so depressed. But hey, I told myself if this is, you know, the kind of things that I go through, if, you know, depression is my worst enemy, or if depression is the main reason, I mean, not reason, but the main thing that I go through all the time, that makes me want to turn back to my past life, then we gonna get through this. We gonna get through it one way or another. Like, I'll go from having a good day, you know, thinking about God. I don't know where I get depressed, and it's like I'm still thinking about God. But like at the same time, I'm thinking of why am I feeling like this? And then I try to figure out, and then I can't figure out. It makes me more depressed. So I just sit there through the depression. I either pray or watch TV and get my mind off of it. But obviously it comes back. Or like, even if I pray, like it's still just lingering there. But at the same time, I feel like this is something I have to just move on life with. Obviously, I don't have to. We don't have to suffer, but like basically submitting to God. In James 4 verse 7, yeah, submit yourselves then to God, resist the devil, and he will flee. And I be doing that most of the times, or sometimes I won't even surrender how God wants me to surrender, which I'm not sure how he wants to, but he wants me to, but I try and surrender. Sometimes I don't, and I'll just, you know, kind of just ignore it, or like I try and deal with it. But when it gets super bad to where I can't even like just think clear thoughts, and that's when I start praying. I start crying and doing all that crying stuff. But like a while ago, I was crying, like, because I feel like it's really God trying to soften us up, you know. And that's why I don't avoid crying. Like, if I have to cry, I cry, man. But I know it's been a lot. It's, you know, it's been a long journey, but we have more to go. We have way more to go. And I appreciate you guys for watching these videos, or even clicking on these videos. I don't expect you to watch the whole thing. I really don't. But at the same time, you know, I just want to continue bringing people, you know, back to their real home, not their temporary home. But, you know, I know God got us all. And what I mean by us all, I mean for the people that, you know, put their trust in him. I trust him, but I just be falling. That's what it is. Like, sometimes, like, it's not even that I don't trust God. It's just my depression gets so high to where, like, obviously that's in a like trust kind of moment. Like, you gotta really, that's like you really, it's not necessarily me saying, God, I don't trust you, I'm gonna turn away, but in our actions, that's kind of what it shows, that like I don't trust you, that I'm gonna get through this. And sometimes like it just gets so high, like so hot in depression. But hey, man, we chosen, man. What else can we expect? And I really told myself that, you know what I'm saying, if this is what I gotta go through, then hey, so be it. If I gotta suffer for God, that's just what's gonna happen. Or it doesn't have to happen. I could choose my own path, but I don't want to spend eternity away from God. That's why it doesn't matter how many times I fall. I'm gonna keep turning back to Him, because I know there's a greater reward, and there's something way greater than the reward that He wants to give me. I just want to spend, my life with Him. But it's just, I feel like my whole life, I was like, everything was just guiding me away from Him, and it sucked, because most of the stuff, the knowledge that I gained wasn't even knowledge that is useful, or I just never really gained knowledge at all. But I don't know, I feel like this is the most wisest I've ever been. Like, I've been through school and stuff for like 5 years, and in those 5 years, I didn't remember anything, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I didn't even know what I wanted to major, like, in anything. I was gonna go to college, I never went. Like, I didn't find anything. Like, I don't have interests in anything. I don't know why. But that's why I don't know. Like, I don't even know what to do with my own life. But that's why I trust God, and I leave it up to Him to, help me. Not for Him to do everything for me, but obviously He's going to give me the strength to keep going. And, man, I feel like that's just the whole blueprint about it. You just have to turn to God for everything. And you got to, you know, tell God your plans before, you try and make your own moves without Him, because it may or may not succeed. But the thing is, if it's not for Him, or if it's not of Him, or if it's nowhere near Him, He won't approve. You can still blow up for making music, but you know what I'm saying, it'll only bring you so far. Because it's like, oh yeah, if you tell God, oh yeah, I'm famous, like I have all this money and stuff, and like I wasn't good, like I didn't do anything good, like, oh no, you did do, you know what I'm saying, you did be successful in life, but you weren't successful for God, so that's the main thing. Like I feel like in this season, God's been trying to teach me that I don't need a job, I don't need, like, I don't need people, I don't need to have a car, I don't know. I've been feeling like that. Like, I don't need all these things. These are all the things that I wanted. And I don't know, I was seeing something about that. About how we want more than what we need. And I feel like I'm somewhere around there. But thank y'all a lot. I ain't gonna lie. If I don't stop talking now, I never will. But it's really just, I really might come out with a podcast too. And also, yeah, stay tuned, because I'm gonna be hopping on a podcast with me and my friend. We're gonna be going over some God talk. He's not all there with God, and reading the Bible. I don't know too much. I know, I know what I know for now, and that's basically me saying I'm still learning more. It's just delayed timing right now. Like, I feel like there was a lot of stuff I should have already learned, but this is my story. This is how it started, and this is how it's going. But I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and you know what I'm saying, God bless y'all. Peace.